Good morning. Good morning to you. I hope you're all very, very well. Monday morning, where did the weekend go? It kind of whizzed by, and now it's feeling cold. It feels as if like just all of a sudden summer has just gone and now we're into autumn. So yeah, so hope you're all good. We've got 3 more this week with our 10 at 10, which is really exciting, and then we start the countdown, and then it is just under 2 weeks now to our event, which is really exciting. So let me just see if I can invite, let's have a look. Hopefully Kath know that she hasn't done this before, like a lot of people, and I say thank you to all these people that have done this. Sometimes it is right out your in, so hopefully she'll pop up there, and hopefully it'll all be fine. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Hi to, oh, there we go, fantastic. There we go. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Is that a little bit there's a mistiness to it?
Nice. It looks very moody and very kind of, yeah, like what's the name, Kate Bush kind of, you know what I mean, that sort of, yeah. Running up that
one out in the countryside, I have to say, as well.
So please introduce yourself and your business and what you make and sell.
Okay, I'm Kathleen Lloyd. My business is called Textile Art, Kathleen Lloyd Textile Artist. It did start off as Artisan Traveller because from when I did my degree, I did a lot of travelling through it and afterwards, and a lot of my work was influenced by the traditional and cultural work that I saw while I was travelling. So, for instance, when I was in Italy, the Baroque architecture really influenced the punch cards that I did for my knitting machine. So all my work is with natural fibres. I do knitting on a knitting machine, which is what I came out of my degree sort of focusing on. Then I got very taken with eco-dyeing, and that became another aspect of my work. So between the eco-dyeing and the knitting, that's the main part of what I do. And then I do accessories with natural textile materials. So I work with 100% wool, linen, silk and cotton. Cool. And yeah, quite a range of different textiles using those materials.
So anyone watching this, eco-dyeing, can you explain a bit more about what that kind of is? I know that you do when you're at the events, but just for anyone kind of now might be thinking, oh, what's that? Can you just explain a bit more? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a couple of pieces with me. I hope you can see this here.
Yeah.
So on there is the natural print of the acer leaf.
Okay.
So that's on wool. And then this one is a beech leaf on linen. So it takes in different ways, but you go out, go into the countryside, pick any leaves, any eucalyptus leaves work well as well. Sure. A colour comes out of them, this beautiful orange.
Yeah.
Anything that will sort of transfer a colour and its full impact of its design onto the material. So if I lay out a piece of linen, and I lay all the leaves and everything on it, and then roll it with another piece on top.
Wow.
Roll it really tight.
Yep.
And put string around it so that air doesn't get in. Then it's steamed for 2 hours.
Yeah.
In like a salmon steaming vessel.
Yeah.
It's left then for 24 hours. Then I unroll it, put it out in the sun so that cures it.
Okay.
And then I wash it so that you get all the residue of the plants and everything out of it. You have absolutely no idea what's going to come out.
Excellent.
And it's just absolute magic. It's alchemy.
Yeah.
So there's mordants you put in, but everything has to be natural. All of it is natural. And it's blown me away how it's developed, and, you know, just what I discover each time I do them, and which plants. When I did an autumn walk, I didn't realise what a gorgeous red came out of the leaf of the blackberry leaf.
Okay.
It's not so much the blackberry, it was the leaf. And yeah, it's just stunning, and it's always different. And that's what I love about it.
It's really exciting, because it's almost like when, you know, pottery, isn't it? And they put it in the kiln, and oh God, is it, you know, it's not just something that you do. It takes a lot of time and process, and probably,
and you've got to trust something almost like that's out of your control.
Yeah.
I played a little bit with raku with pottery, and it has that same effect. It's what chemicals do to natural. Wow. And changes in different areas. So the water might have more iron in it, and that will have a different effect and create a different colour in what print comes out. Fantastic. So it's lovely. And then what I discovered is if I did it on linen, I could hand stitch and emphasize some of the shapes and bring, you know, like a third dimension to it. And then Steve is extremely good with his wood work. So he hand makes me frames, and then linen ones that are hand stitched are then put into like a floating framework. And that was just another discovery. Well, let's try this, and how are we going to present it, and the different ways. So it's been a lovely learning process as I go along.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, my postman's there. Sorry, I love it. My postman, but I'm in the front window, and Rob's obviously on a call at the moment, so, like, obviously we're doing, so I think it was something signed for, so he knows what to do. Bless him. He must think, what is that crazy man doing, sat there talking to the screen? Thank you. He's made quite a few appearances, actually. So why did you set up your business, and how did you come up with your business name? I think I can work out your business name one, but tell us a bit more.
I came up with my business because I came out to doing the degree. I actually started the degree at 57, so I was a mature student. And I played with making things for many years alongside my previous career. So university really did help to direct you in many ways with how you took a business forward and got the best out of it, so that you weren't just playing. So all the marketing, you know, and all that enterprise stuff that they really had to sort of say, come on, Kathy, you know, you've got to sell yourself. You've got to really appreciate that the time and effort and uniqueness that you're putting into this needs to be recognised. So I then sort of like a little bit kicking and screaming, went into developing it as a business and being a little bit more streamlined in what I put forward. So, you know, it wasn't quite so all over the place. And went to the craft fairs, went on initially Facebook to do my own page, since gone on to Instagram, and owned it. So I think that was the main point, that I had to start the business and own it, and then go forward with it. So that's why it had to be a business, and it had to be more sort of like managed by me as well. So,
exactly. And we've been talking a lot about that, isn't, you know, like what you do, but also there's a lot more. And, you know, probably with all of you guys, is if you sat down and wrote a list of all the other jobs that you do, you know, the marketing, or everything, isn't it? Or the, you know, the packaging, the shipping, the, you know, the shop front, everything.
Absolutely.
There's quite a big list, and I think it's probably something I might sort of do, so we can all look at it and go, actually, I do that, and I do all of those, which is really, really important. And I love the fact as well that, you know, when we look at the people at our events, you know, we've got a whole array of age, people of age, and we've got people that, you know, might have just started, or they might be sort of young, and it's really kind of important as well, isn't it? Because I think we can all bounce ideas off each other. Hello, he's back again.
The interesting thing about age is that when when I do talk to people and I tell them, you know, how I went through doing the degree in textiles at that age, they said, "Oh, it's too late for me." I said, "No, whoa, you know, this is my story, and this is the age I did it. And this is what I, you know, the most amazing experience." When I heard Becky saying yesterday about her degree, sounds like it was a similar one. And yeah, you start off with weave, knit, and mixed media, and they let you explore. And so, you know, that's massively part of why I like being out there and saying, no, age is not a barrier on doing this.
And also a lovely thing as well, which I've got to see, is a lot of like people like yourself, they've had the careers, they've had the, you know, they've brought up the kids, and then all of a sudden they go, I want something for me now. You know, it's mine. I own this. It isn't anything to do with anyone else. And it's really, really important, isn't it? And it's, you know, and you see that. And I love that. And also, you know, I think as we all get older, I've stopped saying that word. I'm getting older. I'm going next year. I'm 50, but I'm 50 years young. You know, I hate that word old. You know, it seems to be this stigma of, well, you can't do that because you're such an age and whatever. And it's like, you know, I think I can run rings around these small kids nowadays who sit there and, you know, lazy and whatever. So yeah, and I think we all can, which is true. So whereabouts are you based, and where is your workspace?
Well, at this moment in time, we're not based anywhere. Steve and I have just put all our everything into storage where we were down in Portsmouth, because we're in a transition movement, probably towards the Lincolnshire area. But in that meantime, what we decided to do was a little bit more travelling. So we're sort of en route at the moment over to Northern Ireland, where we've got some work to do over there. But we've timed it dead on to get back in time for the next Dorking Halls market. So it's just given us a lovely 6 weeks freedom. And when we come back, my eldest son's moving over to Lincolnshire. So we'll go and stay with them, and then we'll look around and decide where is the right place for us there. But we have got a tick list. And one of the things is that it's to give us some space to do a workshop. And for my crafts in particular, not to take over the whole of the inside of the house. And that has happened in the past for sure. So it will be from home for both of us. Steve's retired, only just retired, so he wants to do more with his wood, and we'll do a bit more collaborative work together. But within our home environment, you know, we'll have the freedom to do that. But hopefully outdoor space, some sort of workshop, and space so that I can do the workshops at home as well, because that's been really, really successful for people wanting to experience doing what I do. So that will be very important.
And like yesterday, wasn't it, with, you know, talking to Becky and, you know, with her workshops, which was just like, wow, it was amazing.
Wow, I know.
It was amazing. I was like, oh my God, Rob's like, God, did you see it? And it was really lovely, her workshop. And also, isn't it great that what she was talking about of teaching, that she really enjoys, and also passing that on to the future generation, where what you're making is kids might look at it and go, oh, and then understand what it's about. And then, you know, what she said, of that person saying, that's what I want to do. And, you know, all it needs is that one person, isn't it? You can kind of go, oh wow, I can mentor them, I can pass this on to.
Absolutely, and it's because it's so much about nature. And having grandchildren, I'm recognizing how much they are taking in all about nature. Is very much part of the school you know, direction. It's lovely, and they're fascinated, you know, so that, you know, gives me the confidence to think, yes, children are really interested in this as well as adults.
It's, and I find that some of our events, sometimes the children, like I say, they almost know a bit more than what the adults do, and they're telling their parents, which is great, and we kind of need that. And I think it's probably what's happened to a lot of parents is they've become that kind of in that throwaway society where, well, I can do that and throw it away or whatever. And I think things really do need to change. And if we can, you know, start teaching the younger generation of what they need to do, maybe we can do our bit to help save the planet. You know, I don't want to get on my high horse, but yeah,
while they're doing their bit, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So, have you a favourite item to create, and why have you chosen that?
Definitely when a piece comes out of the rolled up bungle, and I see the amount of detail that's been transferred into the material, to work on those pieces and to be able to hand stitch into it, that is what I would spend hours and hours and hours working on. I absolutely love it because I feel like I'm engaging in the nature of what's being created. So that's by far my favourite piece to work on. Is definitely a really detailed piece of eco print.
Yeah.
I also love to work on, if somebody says to me, you know, can you do a design on the knitting machine, and I do the punch cards so that, you know, it's got that design. I love doing that as well. And so it's both in a way, but I know when I'm sitting there doing the stitching into the eco prints, that's when I'm in my element, I suppose you could say.
And also, when you were talking earlier and saying about with the whole, you know, the 24 hours and things, almost top tip there, if you're looking for somewhere for your workshop, maybe look somewhere that's got a B&B and something, so that people can come along and, you know, and they can come along and then they can go off and explore, stay the night and come back. So it's almost like a sort of a two night there, or a night.
It needs to be a 2-day experience in for that very reason. To work. So I think that would be a really cool idea. You know, that of, you know, then them going off and then unrevealing, you know, what it's going to be would be really exciting, wouldn't it? So we have an ethos, as you all know, about that we like to be friendly, creative and unique. Is there some kind of ethos or saying or something that you kind of work with? I think the word natural comes to mind. I'm extremely keen to keep everything as natural as possible. Culture and tradition is hugely important to me, and that was extremely inspiring to see when I went to India, to see how they're working within their own culture. I went and volunteered for a month with Aboriginal people in the community in the outback. It's been right there and understanding the culture that's come through generations and generations. And, you know, I'm Irish by my parents, or I'm Irish. And when I go to Ireland, I'm absolutely fascinated by the linen industry, which sadly has sort of like almost gone, but it's still there for sure. Yeah. And it's that. So if I have an ethos, it's to do what I can to retain the traditional, cultural and natural, keep them skills going. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. So what would you say, or probably you've almost said about them, but your goals and dreams for this year? Obviously you're trying to sort where you are, isn't it? So it's it's
to find the ideal place for it to be as much as possible in the countryside, and for it to be the environment where we live alongside our work at a really nice balance. Yeah, the work that we're doing. So so that's the main aim. Yeah, and actually to be a little bit settled in doing that, which is a bit of a new one for me. But
no, it's great. It's finding that right place, isn't it? You say that the work balance somewhere with the workshops, you know, and it is, isn't it? It's kind of, it's your kind of next step, you know, when you kind of in your age kind of thing that you do, isn't it? You kind of do that, and then, you know, it's almost later, well, I want somewhere now to sort of relax but still do things as well, which is really important. I think as I get older as well, and I see other people around me, I just want to get a bit more and do a lot more things, almost the things that I didn't do as a teenager.
Oh,
You know, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And to have the freedom to do that. So, yeah. No, lovely.
And also being around, you know, with your workshops and being around younger people, it's really good for the soul, isn't it? Of teaching them about what you do.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So, who would you say is your support network?
Well, certainly Steve, who is extremely supportive, whether it's to do the frames or when I say, oh, I need something to display my cards on the stall, and he comes up with an amazing, display pieces for me in wood. My family, hugely supportive. My eldest son, for instance, he just said to me randomly one day, because he was in the Fleet Air Arm, could you do the zigzag on a scarf for me? So I said, right, okay, punched away at it, came up with the right colours and this pure wool zigzag and grey scarf. He wore it on Facebook. Oh my God, you know, the orders came in from colleagues because it was particular to the Fleet Air Arm, their design.
Yeah.
So, you know, that sort of thing, and hugely encouraged me in how to get them out there. So definitely family. My sister Pauline lives in Northern Ireland, where we're going over to. She organises workshops over there for me, and she goes into the local shops and eco print on a damask Irish linen.
Yep.
If it's got the shamrock in the weave, shimmers and the shamrock shows.
Wow.
Beautiful. So we put them into cards, and they sell over there. You know, they just, so it's contemporary, but it's the shamrock, and they sell really well. So yeah, a lot of support there. And because I went through my university in Carmarthen, in Carmarthenshire, I developed a lot of close contacts and friends through that. And then there was a community of artists, Tea Celt, which is Art House in Llanelli. And even though I've left Wales now, they are so supportive still. Yeah. And they follow me and they encourage, because they watch me develop through it all. And they're very, very supportive. So, I do feel I have a lot of encouragement.
Yeah.
And support from a wide range of people that have said, you know, this is your dream, Kathy. This is what you always wanted to do. Yeah. And so it's lovely.
And it's lovely, isn't it? It's almost they're pushing you as well, because you probably thought, oh, you know, doing this, and it's great, isn't it, to have that support, and then your son saying, I think, is this him now saying Wally Wafu? Is that?
Yeah, and that's really easy to put that on Wally Wafu. So that's
such a cool word, Wally Wafu.
Yeah.
But it is great, isn't it? Because it's really nice to have that support from your family, and they must be proud of you. And I have to say that when we, as me and Rob, when we go to events, and we went to Farnham Maltings looking around, and and we saw you, and straight away we're like, wow, you kind of almost it was like, because you told your story, and we were interested. You kind of, whoa, sat us in, and we were like, wow, this is really amazing. And and those people that might sort of walk past and not really interested, but it's grabbing their interest, isn't it? And that's why we thought you're perfect for. And I know that you had a great time at our last event, didn't you? You were,
absolutely.
Loved it. Really absolutely great. So that comes on to the next question, which say, what events are you doing with Curated by Dapper Suave? Sorry, put me feet.
Yeah. I'm there for the November one. Yeah. And that has worked in absolutely perfect for us to have this 6 weeks going over to Ireland, and then back in time for that. Yeah. And then, obviously, it's great to hear, what you've secured for next year. So just hugely looking forward to more events with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even, yesterday we were at Brightly Farm, and we went along there, and there were a couple of people that were just amazing. I think they're on this call at the moment because they said they'd pop along today, and it was really lovely because actually one of the ladies there actually works where Rob does as well, which was just like, wow, you know. And it wasn't just what she did; she was really bubbly, and I thought, wow, she really, you know. So, you know, and also getting these people to come along to our events as well to just make sure that they get what we're about, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, people that aren't following us, and then they're like, they want to be part of the event. It's like, no, I need to make sure that you're right and whatever, which is really important for us.
And that was what was so lovely, to have that response from you, to know that I was right for your event. That was really nice.
Yeah. And I think when you got there as well, just seeing all the different you know, all of the different people that were there were brilliant. I mean, October, like I say, we've got 16 brand new businesses again. So, you know, you're no longer the new girl anymore. You're, you know, which is lovely, you know, because then, you know, it's really nice because then next year when you're at the events, we can actually say, oh, actually, you know what it's all about, and we can put you next to somebody that you can help them, which is really great, isn't it? And being, you know, when you haven't been to an event before, it can be really daunting, and that's why we take our, you know, doing our Zoom chat and the WhatsApp group and really just getting to know each other, which I think is really important for everyone, isn't it?
It really helps, for me, it helped me feel like I belonged with the whole community of what you do. So, absolutely.
And I think it's talking to every single person I speak to, and even when they said they've done those events where they've got a lot, you know, and they really care about what they make and they sell and whatever, and then they get along and they're next to somebody who just sells just rubbish. It's just not right, and you know, and they feel very, you know, they're selling something like you know, even like Becky said yesterday, there's somebody selling something cheap and it's not very, you know, and it's about having a whole range of people that you go, yeah, I'd buy from them, and I understand. We'll, you know, we're all in it together, and there we go. So anyway, and the last question: why did you choose to work with us? Which must have been a bit crazy when we said, "Here we are."
No. Well, it was massively to do with appreciating that to be approached and to know that somebody recognises your passion for what you do, and obviously, I really, really love what I do. But in a way, it is about selling it. Of course it is, because it's about my business. But it's about putting it out there. And when somebody recognises that I am so happy to put it out there and appreciates that, then that was like, oh, wow, that was lovely. Lovely to be acknowledged in that way. And then as the time has gone on, to see what it is that you do to support everybody in your very extending family, that's been amazing. So when Steve and I turned up at Dorking, and we'd never been to Dorking before because we were poorly when we should have gone to check it out. And we weren't able to go. So we were just turning up for the first time. But the instant welcome and the instant ease, and above all, it's fun.
Yeah.
You and Rob make it really fun. And then everybody else has that fun energy as well. And so it was a really, really good day.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed being there, and the way that we all, you know, sort of like as best as we could. So we weren't leaving our stall too long, but went to talk to different people, and that will grow. Yeah. You know, I came away realizing there was people that I didn't get to talk to, but obviously, you know, that's over time. And
And I think as well, talking to people as well, it's of us as well, getting together if we can. And, you know, there's one thing that I want to organise is a big party to celebrate us being 5 years old as handpicked, as curated. Because also it's just that bit where some people, I really want to go and talk to them. And it's not just, you know, but how nice would that be? And maybe just to have a few more bits where we can get together and we can talk to, you know, and because there's probably, you might have got, I really want to talk to them, or I want to find out a bit more, or how you, as another stallholders as well, other exhibitors can collaborate together, which is really important sometimes, isn't it, as well?
Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah.
Excellent. So, really, really great to speak to you, and it was all
it's
fine
been
this
lovely.
morning. I know you're worried about whatever, because sometimes this can be a bit daunting, and I know there's lots of people, and I say thank you to you. So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do this, and I think maybe there are a few more people that will start doing them. I mean, you know, that's why we just do. So we're back tomorrow with Skylark and Sage. So she was at the September event. So we'll be talking to her, and then Wednesday, and then it's just the countdown that we'll be promoting, which will be going. I'm at the moment just posting it all onto Facebook. That was on our June event. Some of the feedback, somebody had arrived, they didn't know anything about the event, believe me, all the stuff we did. So I've got a group, so it just goes to all of the different places all around that I've joined as Curated, so I can just get that out there, so that, you know, those people that just specifically use Facebook, they know about it. So yeah, there we go. So this will go onto our Instagram TV, and also, obviously it will then go onto our YouTube. I know a lot of people go and watch it later, and then that will go onto LinkedIn as well. So it just gives you the exposure that you need, and we will see you in November. To be honest, as the last event, I sit here going, oh my God, 2 weeks, and we've got 2 weeks to the next one, and it's like, you know, it's straight on to the next one, which is really, really exciting. And this I think this is going to be our biggest event. I mean, we have just over 50 exhibitors, and that's it. We are still, you know, we could go a lot bigger, but we will want to. We want to keep the one-way system. We want to keep it so that you have time to talk to the people as well, which we find is
hugely important. It really felt great to not have to think, oh my goodness, somebody else is looking, I can't explain this a little bit more to this person. I really felt like I had the right amount of time to talk, and yes, and that was lovely to do, because, you know, I know that helped towards them thinking, oh my God, is that what it is? And they were more interested. So that was nice. Nice to have the time to talk. Definitely.
And I am kind of working on something as well to get, you know, so that people, because what happens is a lot of people after the events contact me, or I didn't get a business card, or they come to the event, they go, oh, I'm here to see such as, they're not here, you know, they're in the next event. So we really want to make sure that I can use the power I have to make sure that we so people get to know about you, not by just coming to our events, but I'm talking about you know, UK as well, that they will really get to know us all, you know, so, which is great. So excellent, really, really great to chat to you. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.